What's good, Commanders fans? Quick video here. Minicamp day 3. They will not practice again after this until training camp. So, but shout out to Key himself. He said, "Happy birthday." My birthday is not until Tuesday coming up. So, Father's Day is coming up this weekend. So if I don't make a video, I should make probably one more video until before Tuesday. I should be making a video. But yeah, I just want to appreciate you guys who did say happy birthday already. I appreciate you guys for that. But I should be making another birthday before then. So let's get to it. Let's get to the guys who were not at, or who were at practice but were on the side field. Curtis Samuel was on the side field. So Curtis Samuel, real quick. Yesterday I talked about Paul Richardson, and I don't want to speculate or just hit the panic button just yet. But we saw what happened last year, where this guy was on the side field every practice, every OTA, training camp, whatever practice it was. He was basically on the side field. Now Ron Rivera did say this was an abundance of caution. Steve Smith, who did play for the Panthers, who was a really good wide receiver on NFL Network, played for the Ravens as well. I mean, everybody knows who Steve Smith is, and played for Ron Rivera. Now, he does not like Ron Rivera, but when he did an interview with 106.7 The Fan with JP Finlay, he did say that Curtis Samuel was damaged goods. Now, I don't know why he would say that. Maybe he knows something that we didn't know. The medicals when we signed Curtis Samuel, but something is up, to be honest with you. Ron Rivera said it was not a groin. It was not due to his groin injury from last year, but I guess it is an abundance of caution. It's a wait and see thing now. Like Paul Richardson did not finish his third year. He did not finish all 3 years of his contract. So we'll see. This is a make or break year for Curtis Samuel. That's all I'm going to say. I like Curtis Samuel. I was happy when we signed him. He's speedy. He's versatile. He offers position flex. He can play running back and wide receiver. If he plays, the idea of Curtis Samuel, the hype of Curtis Samuel is, what I'm looking forward to. But the actuality of what's happened, we haven't been able to see this guy play yet. So, all I can be is, optimistic, on Curtis. But, if this guy doesn't play 8 games, then I would release him. I'm sorry, I would release him. I really would. I would just draft another wide receiver and after this upcoming season. We'll see, though. I've heard he's had a really good mini camp from what the beat reporters have said, but I just had to get that off my chest about Curtis, So he an abundance of caution is what Ron Rivera says. So yeah, JP Finlay says Curtis Samuel does not appear to be practicing, was on the bike earlier on the side field. So Ben Stanek says, not seeing Charles Leno or Cornelius Lucas today, both absent yesterday. Curtis Samuel's here, but watching the wide receiver drills. Same with Dax Milne, both on the side yesterday. Samuel also sat last week with media in attendance. Dax Milne was wearing a walking boot on his right foot and ankle. And I'm going to talk about Terry McLaurin. There's some positive news about him from Jeremy Fowler. I'll talk about that at the end. So today was basically the third string guys, fourth string guys practicing. They really could have canceled today. A lot of teams canceled their third minicamp day, but they decided to have it, which is fine. Matt Paris says practice ended after quarterback Cole Kelly was intercepted for a pick 6. We call that the Steven Montez around these parts. So Steven Montez catching strays, man, catching some daggers, catching some shots from Matt Paris. Now Steven Montez, yeah, he wasn't the greatest quarterback, I'll say that, but it is what it is on that. Zach Selby also says, looks like the backups are getting the bulk of the reps for the final day of minicamp. Sam Howell's first completed pass of the day is to Alex Erickson, who made the grab for a touchdown. Alex Erickson had a great minicamp from what I've heard. It had really good OTAs too. So I'm intrigued by Alex Erickson. I really am. I'm intrigued. I keep saying the DeAndre Carter replacement and the Adam Humphries replacement. We'll see. We'll see if this guy can make the roster. I think he's going to make the roster. I really do. Chris Russell said Sam Howell was up and down in camp, and he said it was concerning because there's no hitting in camp. So he said he was a little concerned, but he is a rookie, so he's going to make mistakes. And he was saying that, the offense is very wordy. There's a lot of things they have to learn. He said Sam Howell has some good plays and some really bad plays. And he said, Chris Russell said he's worried because when you're struggling with no hitting and there's no fear of getting hit and you're not looking crisp and struggling throwing the football. So he said he was a little concerned about Sam Howell today. So we'll see. I mean, he's a rookie, so I'm not too concerned about that. Ron Rivera said he doesn't expect Dax Milne to still be in a boot by training camp. As for the guys coming off season-ending injuries, Rivera said they'll have to wait and see if they'll be cleared by camp. That group includes Chase Young, Chase Rouillet, and Logan Thomas. So we'll see if they start training camp on the PUP list, which is most likely what's going to happen. So this is from David Harrison. He said Percy Butler has flashed for the Commanders, according to Ron Rivera. another member of the defensive backs group getting praised. So Percy Butler, they got a lot of plans for him. They plan on him having a lot of snaps, playing safety, that Buffalo nickel role. So that's what they're looking for from Percy Butler. So Zach Selby says Ron Rivera said that Curtis Samuel has been out the last 2 days out of an abundance of caution. He's a player who can be very important to the offense. So yeah, I mean he probably is the X factor. Of course they have to re-sign, they have to extend Terry McLaurin, but Curtis Samuel, man, he's that wild card. He really is the X factor of this offense. If we can get him rolling, him and De'Ami Brown, those are the two guys. It sounds like Jahan Dotson's a sure thing, even though we haven't seen him play in a game yet. But him and De'Ami, man, they're the two wild cards. We need these guys to really, really step up. If we really want to improve this offense and have a high octane and improve this offense and make it easier for Carson Wentz, we really need those two guys to step up and be healthy and be available and step up for the Commanders this year. Not much going on today. Like I said, there's only like 3 more tweets, and that's about it. Pete Haley once again said Curtis Samuel's week was limited because Ron Rivera and the training staff felt like he was in a good spot, in quotation marks, after what he did at OTAs and at Tuesday's minicamp. They didn't want to push him anymore. When I asked him if the caution was related to Samuel's groin, Ron Rivera said no. So like I said, I don't want to overreact, but we've just seen this situation before, time and time again, with bringing in free agents and they're hurt and just all kinds of stuff with free agents. We've had a couple free agent disappointments and busts, free agent signings for a lot with the Washington Commanders and the previous regime. So this is the Jeremy Fowler. He talked on Get Up this morning as well. He said, quote, "I'm told that Washington has intensified their efforts to try to get a long-term deal done with him." Talking about Terry McLaurin. He sat out minicamp. That sort of sparked more talks. They've sort of been upping their proposals. Nothing imminent yet, but this could get done even this week. Definitely before training camp is Washington's plan. So Terry McLaurin, man, he led the league in contested catches. And you want to know why? Because he had 8 different quarterbacks throwing him the football. Well, not this year, but he led the league in contested catches this year. You want to know why? Because no disrespect to Taylor Heineke, but he's underthrowing them. The Falcons play where it was a yellow pass, and Taylor Heineke just threw the ball up in the air. He was like, Terry's up there somewhere. Forget it. I'm going to just throw it up in the air. And Terry McLaurin got it. And that's why I didn't have a problem with that Heineke passes. Everybody was like, oh, that was a terrible pass by Heineke. But I was like, no, that's a good pass because you got to know who you're throwing the football to. Terry's going to get it. So I didn't mind the pass at all. And that was a good game that we won against the Falcons. So that was one of the contested catches. I brought up the Chargers catch yesterday too. So catches like that is why you got to pay that guy. It's why you got to pay that guy. $25 million, in my opinion, is fair to Terry McLaurin. If it's 24, 23, I think that's a good deal too. But I think we're looking at 25. I think he really wants to match what A.J. Brown got. So that's good news on that front. Ben Stanley asked Rivera which of the backup defensive backs have stood out. More praise for Ben St. Juice. Ron Rivera cited Jeremy Reeves from a mental understanding of the position. Mentioned Christian Holmes' physicality. Danny Johnson, Percy Butler also received a mention this time from the coach. So he basically named all the backup defensive backs. Didn't really leave many people out. He didn't say Corn Elder, who got a couple interceptions during camp, so I didn't hear his name. Ron Rivera for final time until training camp, he says on injury, said he's not concerned about Charles Lano out the last 2 days. Does not expect Dax Milne to remain in the boot for long. Otherwise, the longer-term issues, Chase Young, Rouye, Logan Thomas will be a wait and see. So training camp will be in Ashburn, not in Richmond, not near VCU. So it's going to be July 27th to August 18th. Includes a free practice event at FedEx Field on Saturday, August 6th. Fans can sign up for free for the chance to attend practices in Ashburn through a fan lottery system. So I haven't been in a couple of years. I'm going to try to go. I'm going to see. Can't guarantee it, but I know it'll be good. I had a good time. I had a blast out there. It was a lot of fun. When I went last time, Mark Holmes was there. He was waiting for me. He was in the corner. Scans Fan All Day was there. A couple people were there, man. It was a good amount of people. I had a good time. It was like a meet and greet. I met a lot of people there, so I had a good time out there. Yeah, that's really it, man. That's really it. Carson Wentz struggled the first 2 days in minicamp. Overall, he's been good. This is what Logan Paulson said, but he said that Carson Wentz did struggle under pressure. Montez Sweat had a good day the other 2 days, and Daron Payne had a good 2 days. In minicamp as well. So, yeah, that's about it, man. Curtis Samuel, we'll see. I'm rooting for him. I really think he can help this year, but we got to get him on the field. We do have a new athletic trainer too, so you take that for whatever it's worth. And then Terry McLaurin. We'll see if they get a deal done this week. We'll see. All right, you guys, have a good weekend. Health to Commanders. Peace.